I've always wished I could somehow help this poor girl. Amber Dextrous. Among my sadder memories from the days when I was young, ain't no doubt of all the folks I'm able to recall, a scrawny, knock-kneed redhead by the name of Amber Dextrous wins the first-place trophy for the saddest of them all. Abandoned by her father at the tender age of 3, only 6 months later, Amber's mother ran away. Placed with total strangers, with no kin to take her in, I believe is the reason why she's like she is today. Ashamed of what her parents did, I think it's safe to say that trying to hide her past has been, undoubtedly, her pride that's fostered all the desperate tales she's told throughout the years, because every time a person's asked about her folks, she's lied. The first time that I met the girl, she swore her folks were gypsies, and that she'd run away from them just south of Montreal. 2 years later, Amber claimed she'd grown up with her parents and half a dozen siblings on a farm outside St. Paul. Brady Beaker told me once he'd quizzed her on a story she'd told when they were juniors, and he claimed it made her cry. He said at first she tried like hell to tap dance round the truth, then, sounding very much rehearsed, told still another lie. In this one, both her parents had been killed in Monte Carlo, and being only 3 years old, they'd placed her in a home. After staying there for several weeks, when family couldn't be found, they packed her up and flew her off to live with nuns in Rome. In time, the church, believing she'd be better off adopted, and living in her homeland, paid her fare and booked a flight. Once again, she'd lose her ties to everyone she knew, and end up in a foreign place with strangers overnight. Touching down in Roanoke in 1965, she wound up living next to us when neighbors took her in. That's when those of us who know her well began to hear the various tales about her parents' fate and where she's been. It's always kind of puzzled me the way she'd rather lie than simply tell the honest truth. To me, it makes no sense. Of course, I might feel differently if I'd been, as a child, abandoned by my mom and dad and hadn't seen them since. I might have done the very same. I guess it isn't fair to blame someone for fighting to escape a painful life. Thinking back to 7th grade, it's hard to beat the doozy that Amber put together on the day she met my wife. Riding on the bus together, Amber told a story Cheryl, to whom I'm married now, was sure could not be true. She said her folks, while sailing round the world, had disappeared, so living now with foster folks was all that she could do. Having heard the rumors, Cheryl knew before she'd finished, because she'd asked about her folks, she'd just been told a lie. But saddened by the reason Amber'd made the whole thing up, despite the fact she'd hid the truth, she didn't ask her why. And that's the way it's always been. We've all just let it go, 'cause everybody realizes Amber's terribly sad. We understand how hard it is to face that kind of truth, and why she tries to veil the facts about her mom and dad. Struggling with a broken heart, a void that's hard to fill, she probably would have suffered less if both her folks had died. And I was not surprised at all to learn that, just last week, Amber, for a second time, attempted suicide.